I think I need to have hair to be officially disheveled. I don't think one can be disheveled without hair. So, but yeah, I know I said that the next time I'd appear on camera that I would show you my knees, but that's a pain, and I have to like set up the computer on a coffee table and get the angle right, and then spin it around and show you how my legs are weird when I walk. It looks kind of like the alien in the Science movie with the backwards ankles or the backwards knees where they're hyperextended. But anyways, I know I said I was going to do that. I like to try to do the things that I said I was going to do, but I had an unfortunate develop here recently, which is I may have screwed myself over by not finding a doctor because I got this call on Friday. Wait a minute, what is today? I don't know what day it is. I just woke up, so but I really drawn a complete blank as to what. Oh, Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, so I got this call yesterday, Monday, and they were like, "You have to be reevaluated for direction home." They want to know who my doctor was, and it's like those are the people that come here, like the aid workers that get me money for the rent, do laundry, rarely but occasionally do housework, and you know, there's kind of a chance I could lose them now. I don't know if me not if I don't know if they're connected with Global Meals. I was thinking that would really suck if I lost the aid workers that I have because I can't get anywhere. I'm shut in. If I lost the aid workers that I have and I lose Global Meals, it's like I really don't want to lose Global Meals because uh, yeah, I can't walk, so I'm gonna have to have somebody do my shopping. You know my family. I don't want to be dependent upon them for anything. So I'd rather rely upon the kindness of strangers than my family because strangers treat me better. So yeah, so yeah, I was like stressed out about that yesterday. Um, I don't feel too good about it today either, but I'm supposed to have like a phone appointment with her next Monday. She's like, I can call you back tomorrow or next week or whenever. It doesn't matter. And I explained to her. She said, "Is Dr. Mason still your doctor?" And I was explained to her like I only went in there once, and I only saw a physician's assistant, but they might have my records. If you just need like my records, but they're gonna raise the stink I know about me not having a doctor, so I'm gonna get pushed, which probably needs to happen anyway. But I'm probably gonna get pushed into having a doctor. I didn't go into my whole spiel about like, well, they broke my knee before I went into the Dr. Mason doctor. I could walk around the neighborhood. And I was also thinking like they always ask me like, is that where such and such his place is on Fifth and Broad, or do you know where the laundromat is over there on the west side or whatever? I just look at them like they're crazy. It's like I ain't been out of the house in like forever. I mean, um, the COVID thing started around here in earnest in March of 2020, right? I started walking around outside. I was still able to walk around outside during the COVID thing, and it was like the whole neighborhood was new. I built up my legs walking in the house, and I started walking in the house, and I was like, got out, uh, you know, the main drag around here, and was looking around. And I'm like, man, they remodeled that whole gas station. That Wendy's not there anymore. I heard about that. That was burned down. What's that over there? I didn't recognize nothing. And then like it got really hot out. I mean, it was a really hot summer around here, so I stopped walking outside because the only way I could wanted to walk outside was um, early in the mornings. I wasn't waking up early enough in the morning. And then September rolled around. I had that appointment where that guy injured my knee, and I haven't been able to walk right since. And yeah, so I don't really, I don't know. have to find a doctor. I talked to my what's her name, case manager today. I think at 1 o'clock, but I have to check. It seems like nobody that's associated with me knows what the fuck they're doing, because it's like I have my laundry all together. I have all my dirty clothes in the bag. The detergent, money, everything. It's all together. It's waiting by the door, right? Today is the day my aid worker usually comes. She's like, calls me, you're like right before I got on here. And it's like, yeah, we had two, but, you know, this one's off and can't get this one. And she's like, what do you need done today? And I'm like, well, I need some laundry done. And she's like, well, I'll keep trying for you. So this place that I'm going to lose are not particularly reliable anyway, because I don't even know if I'm going to get an aid worker today, and I might have to drag some clothes out of that bag and wash them out by hand, which is, you know, not a lot of fun on a bad leg. But I would hate to, you know, lose them as far as trucking around, get me money, coffee creamer. Well, they can send that through the mail. But a lot of stuff, a lot of like food stuffs, you're not going to be able to get them sent through the mail. And I sure as hell, if I lose that, I'll be left with the option of like uh, shopping online. You can like get your groceries all together and have somebody pick them up at Walmart, and then like trying to get my friend who lives in another city to do it. Uh, you know, I cut ties with these people over here. The only people that I really know in this city. So, um, yeah, it just wasn't a comfortable feeling yesterday. It's like, oh man, I should have got a doctor. It's gonna raise hell with everything. And it's like, when you're in the system, this is what happens. So, but I'll talk to my case manager today and see what she has to say about it. Like, and I'll ask her some questions. Usually, you have to be careful what you ask and what you say too with the people that are trying to help you. And like I said, none of these people are very competent at all. It's like this aid agency. A lot of days are like, well, we can't get anybody for you today, so I get like one person in here a week. And it's still, you know, it's not enough to do any housework or anything like that, but I can still get them to like run errands for me. Like I need this picked up or that picked up. And so I'd still hate to lose them even though they're incompetent. And then like the case manager that's going to call today that's supposed to like try to find me housing. We haven't even talked about housing for like ever. You know, so it all comes down to me, and my head's all foggy with pain and you know, the benzo thing. And every time I try to do something around here, it's like my knee gets worse as far as the pain levels, and my head gets foggier. So it's like a vicious cycle. The more I have to do, which I would be happy to do it, believe me. Never been lazy. It's just the leg don't work. That's why I should be showing you the leg on camera, so you can like, oh yeah, that leg's fucked up. Uh, yeah, look at you walk. That one guy said there's like an old video of me here walking when I was better at it, and he's like, it looks like your legs are gonna break. I was like, yeah, they definitely feel broken. I don't know about breaking, you know, like they're gonna snap, but they definitely feel broken. So the window's open. It's nice and sunny here. Some people like that, but it doesn't do me a whole lot of good. It reminds me that I can't get outside, and then I like to fish this time of year. And I still got this shortness of breath thing that's kind of new. So, you know, there's plenty of fodder in there for bad thoughts. Uh, yeah, it's this new thing that, like, that's what happens when you get dependent. You don't ever want to get, you want to stay as independent as possible. I already knew this. I mean, I was independent to the point where, like, when I was younger, I would go to the grocery store in snowstorms and throw the bags over my shoulder and carry home like 30 pounds of groceries on my back and walk in the snow. And it's not a lot of fun walking in the snow if you're not in an area with snow. You don't know this, or you don't walk a lot in the snow. But when they plow the streets, the sidewalks are fucked. So you have to walk in the street. So you're walking in the busy street, and the way you have to walk is you walk against traffic. You see a car coming, you go stand over against the big, nasty clumps of snow beside the road so the traffic can go by you. And then you get back out in the street, and then you just walk down the street because the street's the only place you can walk. There's a foot and a half of snow. I don't know if you've ever trudged through a foot and a half of snow before, but it'll make a quarter of a mile walk seem like 2 miles. So that's how you have to. But I would do that just so I wouldn't have to ask anybody to do it because you do not want to depend on people in this world. You want to do that, be able to depend on people as little as possible. Now I'm in a situation where I'm completely dependent, and that's a situation that, depending upon how you were raised, can cause you a great deal of stress. And the way I was raised, yeah, caused me a lot of stress. Yeah, you want to be as independent as you possibly can. So I would clean this place pillar to post and do whatever if my body worked, but it doesn't. So this brings to mind, like, you know, it's one thing for me to talk about those options that I talk about from time to time on here, but when it starts to become more and more of a concrete, you know, thing, like, you know, what am I supposed to do? I can't let them put me in a nursing home. You know, it starts to really like, damn it, I don't want to lose this game, whatever this game is. I don't want to lose it, you know, and I don't want to quit, but at the same time, like, things aren't going very well. And like I said, the people that are supposed to help me, like doctors, injure me. This aid agency, sometimes they have people, sometimes they don't. Sometimes the people refuse to take out the garbage. Kind of your job, or like they like have permission slips from their doctors, like my shoulders hurt, so I can't lift anything, and I'm like, well, what can you lift? And they, it's up to their discretion. So in other words, they have a permission slip from their doctor, approved by the agency that they work at, that they don't have to work if they don't want to. Like, well, that's pretty cool. I would like that arrangement as part of my employment. Well, no, I can't do that. No, can't do that. But I did have somebody actually refuse to take out my garbage. I had to do it myself. It's like, okay, I can do it, I guess. It just takes me a lot longer. That's when I figured out how to throw it out the window. You know, instead of walking it all the way around on the porch, just throw it out the window in the general direction of the garbage cans, and it saves you carrying it. So, you know, necessity being the motherfucker of convention. Um, yeah, I honestly drew a complete blank on what day it was. I have just woken up and just got that phone call, and I was like, "You got to be shitting me! I got a good aid worker, and now she called off today, and it probably has something to do with her 93-year-old mother. Because I talked to her. I said I was going to talk to her. I talked to her about, like, you know, she's 68. That means she's drawing a pension. To ask her, you know, you must be working. You know, why are you working? And boy, did she tell me. She was more than happy to tell me. You know, about she had all these plans and she had bought this house, and you know she has money because of her pension, but she don't have enough money to do what she wants to do. It's like I didn't have to like prod her into answering that question at all, because I was basically like, you know, why are you working? Are you working because you like to stay active and work, or are you working because you need the money? Because, and I explained, you know, because that can be an insulting question to people. So I explained, because a lot of people like to just keep working just because they like to keep working. They don't necessarily need the money. And I said, like the one person you talk about that comes here, I'm like, she's more than happy to leave and not get her hours in because she doesn't care one way or another about the money part of it, which makes me wonder, why are you working if you don't need the money? You know, but they hardly work anyway. So she's one of the ones that has like a doctor's excuse. So yeah, my own laziness. May have fucked me over here. We'll see. Come next Monday. I'll get around to setting up the computer in the living room and walking around and stuff. And, taking a tape measure to my knee. I was thinking of a video where I could just, like, demonstrate. Because a lot of stuff doesn't translate over the computer, like my intense beauty, for instance, doesn't translate over the computer. Yeah. But anyways, I thought I would. I don't really have anybody to talk to about these things, so like I said, I do got one friend. So it's like I wouldn't even bring this up to my brother because I know he don't give a fuck. I thought it's the main guy I talk to all the time. When I'm talking to him about, I realize that he's more interested in the fact that I found that one fishing lure with the pork frog thing. He's more interested in that than he is in my problems. It's like, he's not really. Yeah, he cares about himself and stuff that pertains to his life. He don't really care about me. And I get resentful when I'm thinking, like, you know what? Things, you could have changed my whole life just by taking, I could see this coming where I was going to get into this, from living here, get into this mindset of like lethargy and inertia and not taking care of business. I could see this all coming and I wanted to prevent it by getting the fuck out of here. And I was like, well, that's a good solution. I had $6,000 saved up to move, but I couldn't get any help finding a place from the Coleman agency. So I was like, I can crash at my brother's. That way I can palm my cat off. And then, my brother's living in the suburbs. I'll have a yard to sit in. I'll be able to practice riding the one fast scooter that I got. And be good for my brain. And I can help my brother out by fixing up his house and making sure he has hot water and can take a shower and doesn't have to wash up in a bucket like a hobo. But he likes washing up in a bucket like a hobo. So, he's like, no, we're not doing that. That sounds crazy. Help you out and help me out? That's just nuts. And it's like, no, I like my bedroom's empty. Yeah. So I think about that sometimes and I get really fucking pissed. And he does this thing like he did to me the other night where he just uses me to stay awake because he has sleep disorder because he won't take melatonin. So I get the privilege of talking to him. I'm thinking about being rude and like, look, man, talk to me when you're awake. I'm tired of you using me in this way because I know you're just talking to me because it keeps you awake. So, you know, the reason why he does that is if he goes to sleep too early, then he wakes up in the middle of the night. So I'll talk to him. He'll be dead tired, and he won't be picking up on what he's saying. He'll talk slow, and he'll like pass out. It's like, look, man, we ain't married. Don't do that. It's like I don't want to listen to you. Go to sleep. And I was like calling, and maybe like if I can hear it in his voice how dead fucking tired he is. And he does a lot of physical labor and stuff. And he just uses me to stay awake, and I have to have these stupid conversations about nothing, which sometimes can be entertaining. But let's face it, they're conversations about TV shows or movies or his opinions about things that really don't matter. My opinions about things that really don't matter. It's not about our lives or anything, you know. And then I'm just sitting there like, yeah, already said that, I already said that. I already said that. Yeah, I just said that because he's half asleep. And I just put up with it because I don't have anybody to talk to. It's fucking pathetic. And I definitely, don't want to call like I got this situation going on, so it makes me nervous and stuff. It's like, oh, I could lose my food delivery. I could lose my aid agency because I don't have a doctor. They need like a doctor's verification that you're sick enough that you need those things. So, say if I call anybody in my family, they would be utterly unsympathetic at best. That's the best you can hope for is a wall of apathy, likely to get attacked. Like, well, why didn't you do that? What's wrong with you? You know, it's like, well, that was stupid. I actually called my brother up that one time when I stabbed myself in the foot with that broken glass. And I told him what I did. And, well, that was stupid. And I was like, yeah, I know it was stupid. Anytime you cause blood to leave your body at a high rate of speed, you probably did something stupid. So it'd be like that, you know. A lot of times I think, like, I can understand, like, somebody coming from my background, like, how I would have trouble forming um, symbiotic relationships, like, where it's healthy for both parties. Or, like, I tried to make friends with a lot of people and I could never figure out how to do it and stuff. So, uh, I don't know how I got in this situation where I can't, like, call somebody up and give, like, a simple little bitch about, like, yeah, I screwed this up, and I'd be like, oh, well, maybe it'll work out. Or, you get some encouraging words instead of, like, nothing or attacked, you know. Yeah, I ought to do this just to make, you're here, I'm here. What the fuck? I was just going to keep this short because I'm hardly a ball of entertainment here. Yeah, listen to this.
The last four digits of your card number. Enter your PIN. Your food assistance balance is $1,633.42. Your food assistance benefit of 33.
So that's $1,600.32, or $1,632 and however many cents. $1,632 that could be cash, and everybody in my family knows that I need money, but nobody will convert that into money. And it's like, yeah, family like that, you don't need enemies. It's like, I don't understand, you know. It'd be different if I was like a drunk or like a drug addict or a sponge, or not the guy that shows up at your house with $400 and just gives it to you because you're poor. Or, it's the kind of stuff that I did for them, and just made. Sometimes you make poor investments in people. You don't, you know, you don't realize it until it's too late, and then you're stuck talking on the computer making boring videos. I can't remember your name, dude, but yeah, I brought that thing out for you. That you said something about wanting to see it. One iPod Walkman, I think is your name. This is from like the 90s or something like that. It's like sometime in the 90s. I don't know what the hell it's supposed to be. It's a homemade angst filled teenage thing that's called a zine. That's what it says. It's old in here. And, do, 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 do. I don't know. Basically, like, that's the first page of it. He said he wanted to see it, so. It has like little pictures and little snippets of, here's a, I don't know what those pictures are or stuff. It's sort of like a vanity project. And then but at the beginning it says, I think this is made by a guy named Chad. You should know the address by now, but if you don't, write blah 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 blah, Maslin, Ohio. Don't call because I hate to answer the phone. It might be that guy from the movie Scream asking me what's my favorite scary movie. It has stuff like that in here. And here's the part where it says zine. I will have a definite spot in the future zine. I promise. Zine. What else is in here? Just a lot of like rambling stuff. But anyways, I wrote a story for this. The guy who gave me this. This is by Chad. The guy who gave me this, I wrote a story and I was surprised not to see it in here because he said, like, why don't you write me something and I'll put it in my zine. So that's not in here. Um, it was called $2 Worth of Education, and it was a little scene from a western where a guy punched a guy, and he had $2 silver in his hand to give his hand weight, and he threw the money down on the table and said when he wakes up, buy him a drink, something like that. I don't know. It was a long time ago, when writing to me was as easy as breathing. I don't know what this is. I don't even know what that is right there. I don't know. There was something funny in here, at least I thought. It says, like, the best feeling. This is an example of the Hemingway-esque prose available in this particular publication. It says, best feeling. Today was the first warm day of the year. It was so beautiful I almost pissed myself with joy. It was one of those days you just want to lay out in the grass and have the sun fall on you, so you're so comfortable you fall asleep. I've always wanted a home where the sun shines through the windows and the curtains and fills the whole room with sunshine early in the morning. It's things like the sun and the warmth of it that money can't buy. Nature sure can show its beauty sometimes, and when it does, I hope I'll be there. I like to wake up to see the sun in my eyes and hear the birds singing. I like to wake up and still not be tired. I love to take a bath. I used to take all my toys with me because I thought they needed a bath too. At least that's what I told my mom, so I could play with them in the tub. I don't think I actually washed all that much. I love to be naked. Running, it doesn't say running, it says runny. Running around the house naked was a hobby of mine. There is so much freedom. I ate cereal like it was water. Breaking stuff always seemed like a playful activity I would partake in. Building pillow forts were the funnest things to do when it was cold or raining outside. It even sounds a bit fun now. 6. Did I mention breaking stuff and peeing yet? That's the one thing I remember about this, is the dude said that he really enjoyed peeing in here somewhere. But anyways, I looked for my story in here, and it wasn't in this one. And he made a little caricature of himself at the bottom of there, smiling and waving goodbye. So I guess that is what a zine is. I am not a Gen Xer, so I really don't know much about them. Let's see, I drew snacks, other things out of that box and set them aside. This is my ticket from when I went to the Daytona 500, but it was called the Pepsi 400. It wasn't the Daytona. No, it wasn't the Daytona. It says right on the ticket, you moron. Yeah, it was the Pepsi 400. So it was at the Daytona Speedway, but it wasn't the Daytona 500. It was the Pepsi 400. You know, with Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr. when they were still racing, and those famous guys. Now, I'm not into NASCAR particularly, but that was an interesting day. And if you ever want to see a lot of drunk people, go to a NASCAR race. If you ever want to see a lot of drunk, angry people, go to a NASCAR race when it's delayed 2 hours by rain. And in Florida, when it rains, it rains. So, does it have a year on it? No. So I don't remember what year that was. We did that. And then, oh yeah, there's a couple of this is a postcard from a relative from Fort Jackson, where they train soldiers to be soldiers. See what she wrote. I actually did this shit, believe it or not. The tower I rappelled down scared the shit out of me. I walked across a damn rope 40 feet in the air. Hello?
Mr. Burton, it's Maura at Westark again.
Hi.
I was wondering if I could send Alexis tomorrow at 10:15.
Then what would my other day be this week?
I'm sorry?
Would I have another day this week besides tomorrow?
Oh. Yeah, I'll try. So you'd probably want Friday, I assume?
Yeah, that'd be fine. If I only have one day, I just want to maximize whatever I can get out of it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we'll try. Yeah, I'll try to get somebody out on Friday then.
so
Or Thursday if that's better, but I'll try for Friday.
okay, I appreciate it. So that's 10.
Well,
I'm sorry, I talked over you there.
I was just thinking. I was just thinking. I know I have Lindsay off on Friday though, but okay, I'll figure it out. All right.
Okay, the 10:15 tomorrow then.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, goodbye. They're not good for much. Horrible, horrible phone manners. Yeah, because like I got like no blinds in the window in the living room, and you can see all the way through my house, all the way. It's like a big this room out here is like a big long hallway. So I got no blinds there, and you can see all the way past here, all the way through the living room, and it's a 31 inch by 6 foot tall window, right? So you can see from the street all the way through my house, through the kitchen, all the way to the bathroom. Like the only room out there that has any privacy is the bathroom. So that's why I asked her, because I don't want to use my one day, if I only got one day, up on laundry, because I need to get something done with that window. Now I might have to take this cardboard out of this window, but then I'll have light like blasting me in the face in the morning. Because I don't know if I told you this, but the way the blinds are set up in here, I have illegal blinds. See, these blinds have been outlawed in this state because they have cords that kids hung themselves in. So I have illegal blinds, and the blind setup that I have is they're inside the window, and they're like, I don't know, they're like that big. We'll do it this way. They're like yay big, except for square, and you have to like they have the newfangled blinds that are legal that don't hang kids. They don't fit on my windows, and you can't mount them on my windows because the way that they go, you have to um, put these screws in, and in my windows, they'd be screwed into plastic, which I assume wouldn't work. You need screwed into wood. So I'm not going to spend on 3 windows out there. I got 5 windows of these giant windows total. I'm not going to spend like $200 and get curtain rods and curtains and just rearrange every fucking thing. Not doing that. So, if I have to like put 2 nails and hang a sheet up there and buy a cheap white sheet so it matches the white blinds, or do something like that. They make these things that are like, I don't know. That's what I'm going to look into buying. But, you know how you put up that plastic in the wintertime? They're like that, except for they're fabric blinds. They're just like adhesive fake blinds that you can put over a window. I can do that, or like just hammer and have one of the aid workers. That's the thing, is like only the one aid worker is willing to stand on a step ladder to do this shit, because they're not allowed to stand on step ladders. But the 68-year-old don't care, so she'll stand on a step ladder and hammer in the nails for me, and then I can hang up a sheet or something so that people don't see my tuchus at 2 o'clock in the morning when I walk out of here. Because walking in, I'm not coordinated enough to walk at 2 o'clock in the morning without light. And you know how that works, where it's dark outside. It's like, doesn't matter now because it's super bright outside and I'm not going to be able to see in. But it wouldn't matter if it's You know how that works. I'm explaining rudimentary things to you. What was I talking about? When I got interrupted and um, had that phone call in which I was rude. Oh, this is when she was trained to be a soldier. And stamps cost 33 cents. I don't see a date on here as to when this was. And it's Fort Jackson, South Carolina, where they train Army people. And I was starting to read it. And she said she was walking across a rope 40 feet in the air. They make me do all kind of scary stuff. That might be crazy. It's either crazy or scary. I can't read her handwriting. But I don't know how old she was when she went into. I think she might have went into the army when she was 18 or something like that. I don't know. But here's a picture of her. It's not going to show up too clear. But in case you can't see it too good, she is sitting on what looks like a heavy tread earth mover type tank type thing, which I don't even know what it is. And she's holding a machine gun. And if she was a guy, you would say she was grabbing her junk with her one hand there. Maybe she's holding up her pants so that they'll bend properly like that. But, yeah. I don't know what that vehicle is. But she says, all it says on the back is on duty 1 week straight out in the field. No running water, no hot food, no sleep, night infiltrations, ambushes, and fucking mud by the pound. All complemented by hard manual labor. Why? So I can get off duty by the weekend, of course. Love so and so. So, yeah, that's a pretty cool picture. So I think that's why it looks like she's holding her junk like guys do. It's like she's pulling up her pants so that she can bend her legs so that she can sit like that and hold a machine gun at the same time. But anyways, I don't know. I'm trying not to worry about this thing where I don't have a doctor, and uh, I'm still not motivated to call. I'll talk to my care source manager and see what she says about it. I'm still not even motivated to call. I mean, I don't know. I don't care. It just feels hopeless. It's like doing a whole bunch of stuff and putting out a whole bunch of effort didn't work. So maybe doing nothing will work. maybe I'm just like fighting. You know, I'm rowing against the tide. Like just maybe I need to like go wherever this takes me, but I can't let it take me into the nursing home. And yeah, I know for sure that I need a doctor in order to get those aid workers in here. Now, granted, as you just heard on the phone, they're not the most competent people in the world, but I was thinking like I'm trying to plan ahead like I did with the benzos since I got cut off of benzos. Um, I'm like, well, while I have them, in case I get kicked off them, that doesn't mean I can't reapply. But reapplication process might take a while. I will keep getting money out of the bank so I have money here to pay uh, pay the landlord. Um, that way, because I can't even. There's an ATM like I don't know 3, 4. Used to be like a 5-minute walk from here, and I can't walk no more. So ain't nobody here to help me out. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get my money here. So now that you know that I'll have oodles of cash in the house and drugs. Yeah, please don't break into my house and make me kill you. Let me reiterate that. Okay, don't track me down and think I'm an easy mark because I can still move around and I will kill you. So don't break into my house. I'm just, I don't care at this point. How this life got to be like this, I don't know. And like I said, I don't even know how I got here. It's just a bunch of things went wrong all at the same time, and then the hard part is like finding out that you think people have your back, but then you don't really know until you need their help. It's like, they treat me pretty good. They treat you pretty good, dude, because you're looking out for them and you're healthy enough to take care of yourself and you're not needy. But once you get to the point where you can't help but like ask for help and you get to be a pain in the ass, that is when you find out who has your back and who doesn't. So, yeah, that was like the toughest lesson that I learned through the last 6, 7 years of misery. And then that's why my leg going bad was such a big deal, is because it's like, ooh, man, if I'm not going to be able to walk around and take care of myself, I can't count on these other motherfuckers to do it. It's like, at the time, I was like, I don't really want to count on strangers. And then I found out that the strangers were more reliable than my family as far as counting on them for help. I can count on my family to just confuse the fuck out of me. But I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but forgive me if it's a repeat. But I had a phone call from the landlord and I had to make a choice like on the spot. Now, my landlord, of course, is a liar, but I didn't have a phone call for him. But I might already talked about this. I don't know. I don't even know what fucking day it was when I got on here. Um, so I saw a couple came here and he showed the apartment to him. A little skinny black dude and a big fat white girl. He told me a dude was going to be renting up there, but I guess it's a woman. I don't know if you're living up there right now and you can hear me. You know, you're Rubenesque. You're not that, okay? You have curves. How about that? But they're living up there now. They're like living up there like right away. And I'm like, well, how did that happen? Like that happened like really fast. And it's like, do they have a cot up there? Because I can remember like, um, when I moved into my first apartment, the guy that I moved into the apartment with was so happy to be out of his place. He took a blanket and slept on the floor, and there was nothing in that place. And I was like, I wonder if that's the situation up there because they didn't have time to move in yet. So, but anyways, going back in the story here. Um, so I'm like, did that? I think I already did talk about this. I'm like, did that couple want the apartment upstairs? And he was like, wouldn't answer because he just does that. He won't answer. I know he's there. He won't answer questions because he's afraid that he's afraid. I don't know why he's afraid. He definitely knows I want to kill him, but that's different. I don't know why he's afraid to answer a simple question to give me information. He doesn't want to give me information and power, the power of information to work with, I guess, would be the only reason why he ignores my question. So I asked him, do they want the place? And nothing. And then I'm like, the reason I ask is I have $1,000 in the house right now, and I will rent the place if they don't want it. And then he answers me like instantly, like he was there the whole time, of course. But he answers me instantly when I bring up that I have $1,000 in the house that could be his. So you gotta understand, this guy's like a millionaire, but he's like a lunatic. He was such a lunatic that his workers um, broke a satellite dish that wiped out my TV and wiped out the guy in the wheelchair's TV, right? He was going to fight us that we have to pay for half of it when his workers are the guy that knocked over the thing, and the sum of money was like, it was less than $200 for them to come out here and fix, the satellite dish and get our TV back. This guy's really into TV too. So it was funny. I just happened to be watching TV. I never watched TV at the time. but I had DirecTV and I was watching a Law and Order episode and they were working outside and I'm like, what the fuck? My TV just died. And I was like, yo, boss, out the window. Back when I used to be more of a human being. And he's like, yeah, what? And I just knew who the boss was, so I just yelled out the window, yo, boss, in my big voice. And he was, um, yeah, what? And I'm like, I think one of your workers just wiped out my TV. You better go check. And then they went out there and they plugged something in, and then somebody knocked at my door, and he's like, you got your TV back? It wasn't the boss guy. And I was like, no. And so neither one of us had TV for a while, and we had to call AT&T and get a worker to come out here, and that cost money. And the landlord was fighting me and this guy over here, and was like, well, I'm not paying for all of that. And all of that was like $130 or something like that. So again, $1,000, even though he's a millionaire, is a lot of money to him. So I told him I had $1,000 in the house, and he was like, "Oh yeah, okay, blah 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 blah." And start writing me stuff because that $1,000 could be his, and it also helps him out to keep the apartment empty. And I also made a point of telling him like, "You can keep the keys." Because then he's like, "Well, if I have the keys, he can't screw me in any way because he can't get in the apartment unless he breaks them. He'd be breaking into his own apartment that he's paying for, but that means that made him feel more comfortable. So he asked me outright, do you want me to block them and give you the apartment? But he put me on the spot, and I was like, thought about it for a little while, and I was like, well, I can only like afford to do that for 3 or 4 months. So see if they want it. If they don't want it, I'll take it. you know, and they're already living up there. Somebody's living up there, you know. I haven't taken to sitting out in the living room. I haven't been able to break my old habits and patterns here. So I haven't seen them coming and going, but I've definitely heard them. Somebody's up there. And they're kind of clumsy too because they be dropping shit. And it's kind of echoes through here. Uh, but they don't walk heavy. No Stampy. Whoever they are, they don't walk like a brontosaurus. So, I was explaining to, I almost said her name, but I was explaining to this 68-year-old aid worker, like, she rattled the blinds out of my window not once, but twice. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I'm talking about is I had blinds that were like a half an inch too small, but they would fit. But the constant vibrations like jiggled them around. They fell out of the window. And she's like, are you serious? And I'm like, yes. It was in the wintertime. So it woke me up in the middle of the night when the first time it happened. I thought it was snow and ice sliding off the roof. But, that's what that's what my brain thought when I was coming out of a sleep when the blinds over here crashed to the floor. And she's like, that's crazy. And I'm like, oh yeah. She's knocking books off the shelves and everything else. So I probably made the right decision because I'm going to need that money and all. But that's another thing that's put me under stress is like, I don't know, are they going to be a drug dealer? Are they going to be a drunk? Are they going to be a pain in the ass? Are they going to be loud? Am I going to have to listen to them fucking in weird Kama Sutra positions and making noises like wounded seals? I don't know. I'm here all the time. Are they going to have a job? Are they going to be gone part of the day? What are they going to be like? Because it's like, it's like living in a house. Because all this place is a big house. So it's a big deal who's living in the upstairs bedroom in your house. Just because they can't get in my apartment if the door's locked, or I can't get in their apartment, we're still in the same damn house. So, it's like when your dad yelled at you for having the music too loud, or your mom, turn that music down. You know, I can't yell at them to clean up their room and not bring in roaches, which the lady up here had roaches and bed bugs. Stampy. She was a great neighbor. She gone now. So that's the decision I made for good or for ill. It was supposed to be $1,500, but I haven't got my stimulus check yet, so I didn't want to run my bank account like empty, and so I got like $1,200 in the house, and so I told him like it's $500 a month rent. So I told him I had $1,000 in the house, and he put me on the spot because you know I don't want to deal with him. I don't trust him anyway. Just don't trust the guy. So yeah. Then he was like, I have to check the Reddit. Check the Reddit. I have to check their credit and run a background check on them. And then I'm like hearing noises upstairs, like they already got the keys to it. So he's just a fucking liar. I mean, I can't believe anything he says anyway. Because it's like, you're telling me that there's going to be a delay in there, but they're like living up there like the next day. I'm hearing noises up there. I mean, I don't fucking know. I don't see it. Unless they're parking down the street a bit. They're not parked dead out front if they have a car, but sometimes, people that live here don't have cars. And it's better that they don't have cars because they're not going to have a driveway. They're going to be parked on the street. And that becomes a problem a couple of times living here when there was too many people living here with cars and there was no place to park, and then people would be fighting over parking spaces. Or like I would go to put out the garbage, and I'm like, well, I don't know how the garbage men are going to get these cans out to the garbage truck because there's just cars lined up in the way. And then I would have to look for an area or like a space where they could wheel to get to the cans and wheel them out into the street in between the cars' bumpers. So, I don't really. Hey, I gotta start sitting out in the living room to get idea who's living here, what the hell's going on. Excuse me. And barking spiders, follow me, follow me, follow me. That's what my fucking brother used to say when he farted, man. Barking spiders. He'd sing that song. He had a fart song. He now has a fart song. It's my older brother. My older brother that I never see anymore for absolutely no reason. That was a severe alcoholic. Used to pass wind and then say, "Barking spiders, follow me, follow me, follow me. Barking spiders, follow me." Silver Shamrock. I don't know what the. Anyways, uh, yeah, there was a big to do here with a bunch of cop cars like screaming down the street that way. But it was weird because this cop comes screaming down the street, and I'm like, I don't know if that was a cop or an ambulance, and I just happened to be in the living room area. And then it went back the other way, and then it went back that way again, and then like a couple of minutes later, there was another cop car. There was another cop car, and they had the flashers on and stuff, so there was some doings of some kind in this neighborhood. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start making a point of sitting out there. I have a heater out there that I could set my coffee on, and I have another computer actually, but it's a Chromebook, and sit out there and get a sense of who's over top of me or whatever. Um, yeah, I guess it hasn't really sunk in with me yet that like, yeah, you got cut off of benzos, because I have like a lot of benzos and I have like two refills on my bottle, but really it's like 2 years supply. So yeah, if things do not improve drastically for me, but 2 years is such a long time. If things do not improve drastically for me, uh, that could be an issue. But that really hasn't sunk in yet as far as like, yeah, you got cut off of benzos, so you have a limited supply. Also, another thing I have to do is I have to retrieve my stash and relocate it, and I have to make sure that nobody sees me do that. Um, yeah, I, when I talk to the Coleman people today at 1 o'clock, hopefully my brain will be in a little better condition. I was hurting last night, so I took my usual dose of Valium, which is 2.5 milligrams. I took one Neurontin, which I only have 6 of those left, and I took melatonin so I could go to sleep. I slept in the afternoon, which is a bad habit that I'm developing, is taking these hideous naps. And yeah, I'm trying, I'm still trying to maintain like 2.5 and 2.5 as far as the volume. But the more stuff that I do, the more it hurts my leg, the more it stresses me out, and then I have other things going on. Like today is a wash. And I'm not trying to make a pun or anything since I was trying to get laundry done, but today's a wash as far as aid workers. I'm not going to get any aid workers today as planned. So, in other words, when I'm limping around last night, like literally making god awful faces and trying not to spit out expletives, gathering up clothes, putting them in a bag, pouring out laundry detergent into little baggies so the old lady don't have to even though she could probably do it. But those, I got like giant economy size jugs of laundry detergent and stuff, so I just measure out some cups and pour them into, sandwich bags of laundry detergent and fabric softener because I'm a sweetheart and I care about other people. And I counted out all my quarters, like I poured my change out and I dug out all the quarters out of the change. For I don't even know like if they have electronic laundromat machines now where you can scan a credit card through them or something. I don't even know what they got out there because I haven't been a part of the world for a very long time. But that one person I sent to do the laundry, I guess they're still coin operated because the one person I sent to do the laundry brought me back a whole shitload of quarters as my change. So I'm assuming they still use coins. Anyways, I'm doing all this stuff and getting all this stuff ready for nothing last night on a really painful leg because I had lifted weights yesterday and I had already done some things yesterday and moved around and used up, you know, my leg can only take so much before it gets very angry and fights back. Um, I hadn't planned on talking for even this long. I definitely didn't plan on singing fart songs on camera, but I am nothing if not spontaneous or fielding phone calls or whatever the hell this just was. Whatever, don't care. Yeah, when you're drifting out at sea in a life raft and you haven't had water and food for like 3 or 4 days, you don't care about pleasantries or appearances or getting that, or powdering your nose. Because, yeah, I'm kind of at world's end here. I think I made the right decision as far as that because I'm going to have to deal with people living over top of me sooner or later. I can only afford like peace and quiet for 3 or 4 months. This way I get to keep the $1,500 or $2,000. And I don't know why I'm not getting my stimulus payment. I have direct deposit. Shit, we're supposed to be among the first people with direct deposit on Social Security. You're supposed to be like among the first people to get their $1,400 stimulus check. So I don't know why I haven't got it. Don't know. I know it's all kind of silly when you think about it, is because I'm like below the poverty line and I'm on Social Security, and it's like that $1,400 is not going to make or break me. So it's like if you had to wait on that $1,400 just as part of your survival, yeah, you would be like skin and bones in a cave. You'd be a skeleton waiting. Now I know that Sharon is waiting, needs the money to go to the dentist, so that sucks for her. And give her a mention. And there's other people out there that had plans for that money that are probably like, "What the fuck? When's this money going to get here?" Because it's the 30th, I think, of March, and they passed that bill on the 12th. My brother called his bank like on the 17th Or no, he said he called his bank, and his bank had like an automated message on it that said that as far as the stimulus checks, they couldn't be processed any earlier than the 17th. So he was actually expected to get his on the 18th. That's almost 2 weeks ago. He still ain't got it either. So I don't know what the deal is or what's going on. But yeah. Anyways, that's enough nonsense out of me, and most of it was nonsense. But yeah. I'll actually call this video the fart song because nobody has ever probably sung a fart song in a YouTube video before. I mean, I don't know if there's probably videos of people, doing fart tricks, or singing the Star Spangled Banner out the wrong end, or, lighting off fireworks. I think I saw a video once of a guy with a bottle rocket doing a trick with a bottle rocket. All that stuff seems kind of gay. Not that that's a bad thing, sticking a bottle rocket up your ass and then lighting it. Actually, that is a bad thing. But, you're not supposed to use gay as like a derogatory term anymore because it's not politically correct. I don't know. If you're a dude, seems like sticking things in your ass is kind of gay. I don't know. At least, hey, I don't know. I don't even know how I got here talking about this stupid stuff. I do know, but I don't even want to know. Yeah, I'll talk about whatever. So, yeah. There was a movie you may or may not remember. It's called The Book of Love. But if you're familiar with this movie from like the 90s, you would remember one scene in it for sure. And that's they stuck a candle. It was like part of a hazing thing. I think it was at a boys' camp or something like that. But they stuck a candle in a kid's ass and lit it. And it's kind of weird, the stuff, that's basically rape. It's kind of weird, the stuff that used to fly like in old movies. And when I say old movies, I'm talking about like 30 years ago that they could never put in movies today. They couldn't make a lot of stuff. Like Sanford and Son, that old TV show with Red Fox, is censored. I couldn't believe it, but that's been censored for years. But I was watching it, and they were censoring out the N word in it, even though Red Fox was the guy saying it, and it wasn't the ER version; it was the A version. And I thought he was allowed to say it because George Carlin said we don't get upset when Richard Pryor or Eddie Murphy say those words. But no, it's kind of weird. Like this era we live in is like more repressed, more uptight, and it's like what would you call it? More of a dictatorship as far as language. It's like we're not allowed to say certain things anymore or to use certain words in certain ways. You can actually get fired over that shit. But see, I don't have to worry about getting fired. So I can say whatever I want. And I still think it's gay to stick anything in your ass for entertainment purposes uh, without a lady present. Yeah, this video really went into a bad direction. But it is what it is, man. I'm going to get out of here before it gets any worse. So I was just going to report that deal about, like, I may have screwed up with the doctor thing, but it got away from me. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.